Hey Andreas, how's it going? Alright, are we set up? Can people see us?
I can see us.
You can see us?
I can see us.
So we'll do another Q&A. Tilt the camera. How's everyone doing today? Got Andy Slammons joining us. I saw Greg in there. Hey Kelly. We had a question from Laura in our Facebook group. Sorry, the dog's down here wanting some love. Laura wanted to know, when starting RA, did you scan everything? And Mike and I talked at length about this actually last night, and you have a lot to say.
I don't have a lot. I don't know how much I have to say. I will say that, I had a coach when I started out in 2011, and her advice for me was to go in the store, pick an aisle, and scan everything. And I looked at this as not only daunting, but potentially pointless. And I know it's good advice for some people. People love to give the advice to scan everything, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that have made a ton of money by going to stores and scanning everything. And I looked at it, I was like, I'm not going to waste my time scanning everything. I'm going to figure out what people are looking for, and look for the interesting items, look for the rare items, look for the clearance items, scan that stuff, and that worked for me very well. But there's a few other reasons, aside from the time commitment to scanning everything, that I don't love the advice. You've got a lot of people that tout bundles. They do great selling bundles. We don't sell bundles, but if we did sell bundles, I probably wouldn't find my products by scanning everything. So if you want to go into selling bundles, scanning everything is probably not your best avenue. Multi-packs. Yes, scanning everything will bring up some multi-packs. You'll scan something and you'll get the listing for a pack of 1. You'll get the listing for a pack of 6 or 12, whatever's in a case. Amazon may or may not be on both of those listings. And then you might get a pack of 2, a pack of 3. But in most cases, you're going to get, especially in grocery, a list of items that it's just like, here's the item, here's the item, here's the item, here's the item, and the multi-packs aren't even going to show. So if you really want to get into that business, it's best to probably search just on the Amazon webpage if you want to get in the multi-pack business, the bundle business. And if you value your time, I'm not sure, for me, that scanning everything is the best advice out there. And there's so many groups now and so many forums and so many people giving away so much information for free. If you just sit on Facebook for a while and start following rabbit trails, somebody says Jurassic Park's great this year. Somebody says the Indominus Rex is, the hot toy this year. Or they talk about, Jurassic Park Legos are selling out this year. Like, follow the forums, follow the advice there, and that'll save you a lot of time from having to go out and scan everything. My opinion.
See? You had a lot to say about that.
Probably too much. I'm probably wrong.
It's okay.
Somebody
it's okay.
else
No,
will
I
be
think
wrong.
it's good advice, because you've been told to scan everything, and if it's June and there's not a lot happening, you could probably scan everything, but it's November, so get into those groups and start finding out. People are going to talk about trends. Go onto Yahoo. Go look what movies are being released. I mean, there's a million different ways to find trends, and then start scanning everything within a trend. That's probably going to give you more profit than if you just start at one end of the aisle and keep going. Especially the thought of scanning an entire grocery aisle just sounds so boring. I suppose scanning toys wouldn't be nearly as bad, but... So, what other questions? That was the one that was dropped into a Facebook group by Laura. But what do you guys want to talk about? What are you finding difficult? We're in November. We're not quite there with the holiday sales. Sales are starting to boost. I hope they're boosting for you. But we're not quite there yet. So, what are you struggling with? What are your biggest headaches right now? What are the challenges you're facing? I know for us, cash flow is always a challenge.
They're boosting.
Kelly's boosting. His sales are boosting a bit. Of course they are, Kelly. You're a rock star. Nobody has questions.
All right. Did anybody see my terrible van unloading video? That was fun to put together.
All my shipping costs eating up disbursement. So you're shipping out more than you're selling right now. So they're taking a lot of the shipping out of the disbursement. When do you switch gears and start ending for January stuff? Okay, so we'll come back. I actually brought paper this time because I miss so many questions.
I didn't even understand the question.
So what do you do if your shipping disbursements are eating up, or your shipping costs are eating up your disbursements, which sounds like a cash flow problem. You're not getting enough cash to go out and buy new inventory, which I think almost every seller struggles with in different ways.
And where are they shipping from? Because our average cost of shipping on most items is probably like 20 cents-ish.
Yeah, if you're if you're, unless you're just shipping out a ton right now that has been maybe sitting, you might want to go in and start looking at your items. Are you holding too much? Do you need to flip some cash now? Because there's going to be deals. There's going to be plenty of deals. So you might want to go in and reprice some things. Or start sourcing some things that you can flip now in the next week or two versus stuff that's going to sell sometime in December. And as far as when do we start prepping for January?
We're not even going to do retail or online arbitrage in January. So we've made a decision. We've got a plan. We're sticking with it. We're doing Q4. Just like in years past, we're going to hit it hard. We're going to buy as much as we can. We're going to sell as much as we can. And then when sales start to drop off right around Christmas, we're going to liquidate as much of our remaining stock as we can, come out of 2015 cash heavy, and just kind of sit on the business for a month while we brainstorm new business ideas and look into other avenues and start looking at other people's. There's a bunch of courses out there. They're not that expensive. They might be interesting to take a look at. They might spur, ideas that aren't even related to the course. They just might, for us, I think we want to explore other avenues. And that's not to say that we're not going to continue selling retail and or online purchases on Amazon, but we're going to try and do a lot less of it going forward.
All right. And Kelly wrote in there to keep shipping. So we're going to take some time off in January to regroup. If you're not, sales don't stop on December 26th. January, February, and March are 3 of our biggest months. So you might want to start getting away from all of those hot toys that are just overinflated in price, because everyone's going to start getting their shipments in January, and they're not going to be hard to find. But all of your things that would normally sell any other time, if it's selling in the summer, those kind of, just the stuff that sells year round, start going for those items and ship. You can ship all the way up through January 1, and most of that stuff's going to sell unless you're buying stuff that the demand's going to drop off.
And yeah, she made a good point. Q4 doesn't end in December. It just, the sales slow down, but she said January, February, March into April. Right up through Mother's Day, sales just continue to roll. It's great. And if you're not into home and kitchen, if toys is your thing, that's awesome. But start looking into some other categories as well. Home and kitchen is huge for us in those first few months. Health and beauty we don't do as much of, but obviously that stuff's going to sell all year no matter what.
We had a question about what kind of repricer we use. We use Reprice It. That's just what we use. And how do you plan out, and this is going to be more geared for what you do, planning your sourcing trips over the next 3 weeks?
I've already gotten them all written out. I'm generally here at the office at the warehouse on Tuesdays and Thursdays, and so I've already marked the calendar. This is where I'm going Monday, this is where I'm going Wednesday, this is where I'm potentially going to go on Friday. I leave Friday open a little bit, just in case I want to take another day and here. But, I I plan them around what stores do I have the appropriate possible coupons for, how far do I really want to drive on that day, what stores are in that town that I really need to be hitting more and more of as we go forward. Like, I don't go to Toys R Us during the majority of the year. But over the course of the next few weeks, I'm going to want to start hitting a lot more Toys R Us's. Unfortunately, I'm usually home on Thursday, but where will there be games played?
We're not playing any games. No games, Kelly, no games.
So yeah, just start figuring out all the places you want to go. I don't just source my town. I source a lot of different towns, and I plan it out ahead of time. And, I just try as hard as I can to stick with the plan.
Our repricer matches Amazon. Not merchant fulfilled, right?
FBA.
He does all the repricing stuff, so I look at it from time to time, but it's just better if one of us handles one thing instead of both of us. There was a question about toy speculation, and I was writing and I missed it before it went off the screen. Yeah, sometimes Amazon does go very low on the repricers, and we've got it set up so if there's a more than a certain percentage drop, it doesn't reprice. But sometimes, yeah, you'll look at something that starts selling really fast and you realize that your repricer was set wrong. But as far as toy speculation, we've done a little bit of speculating this year, definitely more than previous years.
Well, look at this. I mean, okay, so Skylanders just came out with their, I don't even know what it's called yet, but they just came out with their new platform, right? And so I've been going all over the place and buying these, as many as I can get my hands on, and that's just what I picked up yesterday. Okay, so that's the Trap team that came out last quarter four. So the new Skylanders, right, it's going to be around $80. These I'm picking up for under 20. And there's a lot of people that are going to settle for this one because they don't want to spend the $80. A lot of people. So I'll be able to flip these for $40 to $50 a piece. I'm confident of that. I'm speculating, of course. Some of them are already selling for nearly $40.
We speculated on, everyone's speculating on a lot of the Star Wars stuff.
It's no secret that Jurassic World Legos are going to be huge, so find them if you can. Good luck.
Right, they're...
Every couple Walmarts I go into might have one or two, left. I don't think I'm giving away a big secret there. And even if I am, you're not going to be able to find pallet loads of them at this point.
If you do, call us. We'll work a deal out.
We speculated on Shopkins Season 2 because Season 3's out. Apparently Season 4 might drop in December sometime, which means Season 3's probably going to disappear.
15th, I believe.
Okay.
December 15th is supposed to be the Shopkins Season 4 drop date. But everything's being speculated. Nobody knows if it's just Toys R Us or... No one's really sure, but that's the speculation.
So, toy speculation. There's a lot of toys out there. I'm not speculating on all the big $100 toys right now because I don't know which one's going to take off and be the favorite. They've got this weird bear, the Chucky bear, that talks to your kid and knows what it likes. And there's this mechanical robot guy. There's all the new Zoomers that are out. There's toys for girls, toys for boys. There's just too many $100 toys for me to be putting too much money into any of those right now. I'll see which one takes off, and I'll buy what I can find at that point.
I'm trying to think when things start taking off. Is it around Black Friday?
It's around Black Friday.
You start to see the winners, and then no matter what, you're going to find out on about December 10th that there were about 10 other Hot Toys that you somehow didn't know about, and yet you still had all these other Hot Toys, so... Get in the groups, try and find out. Like, I didn't know that Max truck last year.
Completely missed the Max truck.
Had no idea until about 10 days before Christmas. And I'm like, oh.
But we sold 300 boxes of kinetic sand.
So, there you go.
So we made up for it there. A lot easier to ship.
What other things do you buy, not toys?
We just got a wholesale order of tea. An OA order of some sort of spice. We also we do have a wholesale spice person. We do protein bars. We do lots of home goods.
He'll buy
appliances.
some candy. Yeah.
I mean, look here. My goodness. You see those? Yo nanas? Look at that. That's
So-
not toys. But the kids, I mean, I'm assuming kids will love it. I've been buying those up everywhere I've been able to find them because I've been getting good deals on those.
What do we think about the pie face game? I think the pie face game is going to be extremely hot.
Huge.
Huge. It's like number 11. I don't know what the supply is going to look like. So Kelly thinks Amazon's going to run out.
I think they're all going to run out.
We're thinking that we've got about 30 of them in stock, and I know there's sellers that have a lot more than that. I think we might even see a good Black Friday sale on them.
I've been going to Walmart, and I see that they've got the shelf stocked with pie face. And then I see up on top of the shelf, they've got like 40 units of extra pie face sitting up on top of that shelf. And it just kind of makes me wonder if that's it. You know, like, I'm speculating that the stores already have what they're going to have. And they might get in another shipment around Black Friday, but that's going to disappear in a day or two.
Yeah.
So
I think, on Cyber Monday alone, Amazon's selling 18 toys a second. So even with 350 sellers, if you're not trying to get $100 for it, I mean, it's $14.88. I think $30 to $40 is going to be a nice sweet spot for that toy as we approach Christmas. I think that's going to be the sweet spot. So don't get too greedy. Just try and flip them as you can and make your money and go get something else. But it does have a lot of sellers on it. I still think it's going to be hot. Well, I know it's hot. It's number 11. Greed is good. So what else? What else? What else? So you're okay with your 4 units? Probably. I think you'll...
400 sellers, that's...
Damn, that's a lot of sellers.
That is.
I remember when like 100 was...
Right.
Like about as bad as it got. So things will get a little crazy this season. There's a lot of people doing this. There's a lot of new people doing this. Yeah, competition's going to get fierce on some of these things.
So, what do you got here? Anything else?
That's all I got. You shop at this Mac. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, I have no idea what that means, I'm afraid.
TJ Maxx.
Yeah, I shop at TJ Maxx.
TJ Maxx is good to us.
Yeah, I do. I sometimes, you go in and you find 2 or 3 items, and sometimes I'm parking carts, up at the front desk, and not that they're big carts, they're tiny, but I can pull together 3 or 4 carts at a single TJ Maxx this time of year. What about the receipt problem?
Repricer problem. So about it jumping down to match Amazon, it doesn't usually happen. We have it set. Oh no, the receipt.
Okay.
No identifier on the receipt.
Here's the thing with TJ Maxx and Marshalls and all of the item not as described counterfeit type stuff. And I don't have any experience with it because it's never happened to me. But I think that people are talking about like designer clothes, handbags, luggage. I'm picking up, toys and some, housewares, maybe a OXO salad spinner or something. I'm really not going through the luggage and the handbags and the clothes, so I don't feel like my risk is as great as somebody who does.
Yeah, I've heard too, as far as TJ Maxx, a lot of the higher end stuff may be seconds, might have imperfections, so do your due diligence. And yeah, if someone says it's counterfeit, you're not going to have documentation that it's authentic.
We don't private label. It might be one of the things we look into in the new year. We've got a lot of shiny objects that, are trying to distract us right now. And that's just one among many that we may have to give some attention to coming up soon.
Was that all private label?
Private label, yeah.
Yeah, right now we're completely distracted with merch by Amazon, and it's just a fun program that we're playing with. Avoid shoes at TJ Maxx. I've never sourced shoes there. I know people who do. I've sourced bras, and baby clothes, because they're not usually making a lot of counterfeit Carters. We're not killing it with merch, but we are having fun with it. Exercise items. Yeah, we've sold a lot of different exercise stuff. Especially, that's a good one for January. I mean,
Yeah, exercise items are good for January. I've been buying them ever since I started. I mean, I remember buying the Tower 3000 or something. It had Randy Couture, the MMA fighter, on the box, and I was finding them at Kmart for $15 or $30 and selling them for $130. It was incredible. Now times have changed, and I'm sure that a lot more people would be on that item, and they'd drive the price down. But at the time, that was really cool. And so we sell some, Gold's Gym stuff here and there, and again, it's just mainly if I see it on clearance, I'm gonna go ahead and scan it, and if it's right, it'll go home with me. But I don't spend a lot of time in the sporting goods aisle scanning everything, as it were.
No.
We sold some yoga mats, I believe. I know she's bought a couple.
Well, I like to think someday I might actually do yoga with a yoga mat, but I don't think we've sold yoga mats.
Okay.
I don't think we have. If we have, I never saw them. But that's a pretty saturated market, so there's a lot of stuff on there that's not good, because yoga got hot, so everyone made yoga supplies. Kelly's doing Pilates as he watches this.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
On the beach? He's still down...
Kelly's
wait a minute.
Always at the beach.
He's texting while he does Pilates.
Yes. Okay, so apparently he's not at the beach today. I want to be at the beach today. So what else? What else is on everyone's minds?
Nothing?
Is everyone just getting worn down? Is anyone just tired of Q4 yet? We're from Ohio. From southeastern Ohio. Yeah, I'm feeling a little rundown. I know the kids are picking up colds, and...
I'm just getting started.
It's just getting started. So Ohio's a nice little state. It's quiet. It's Midwest. So we're kind of nice to people. Waiting for...
I think sales.
Oh, yeah.
There's always more to buy.
There's always more to buy.
Sales.
It's hard. It's hard to prioritize. Do you buy? Do you ship? Do you work on other projects? Do you sleep? Do you eat? I know we always talked about how this summer we took a ton of time off and we had a lot of personal time, but this time of year, work is creeping into all hours. Packing, shipping, sick of it. I don't forget to eat. That one, I get really cranky if I don't eat, so I never forget, because he would remind me. Money flow. Money flow is a problem. It's a problem for us. We still struggle with it. Trying to balance, spending money on things that aren't going to really sell until December, and trying to have a good percentage of stuff. I think our cat just knocked down something very heavy. Having a good percentage of cash that you can be flipping now.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked what we do with the kids during the day. Our daughter is in first grade and our son is in preschool.
They're gone.
The days that he's not at preschool, he goes and sees a sitter that's been watching our kids since Ava was just wee little.
About 7 years.
Yeah.
She's part of our family at this point. 6 kids here.
Wow.
That might break me.
So I think we need to bring it to a close, go find out what just happened upstairs, and we'll keep making videos. I don't know if we do another Periscope. I want it to be a little more directional. I want it to have direction. So
maybe we'll pick a topic
We'll
just cover those things. Good to see you too. Thanks. The elevator's that's a fun thing to play with.
Nobody's been snarky about it. Like, I've been waiting for somebody to tell me, no, dummy, it's a dumbwaiter. An elevator's for people. But nobody has, so I appreciate that.
So we will catch you all on Facebook. You can find me, Brittany Ross, Michael Ross. You can find me at Your Sourced Inventory, a free group where we talk about clothing, shoes, and whatever else we're thinking about that day. So we'll see y'all on the internet. Bye.
See ya.